The apocalypse had reshaped the world into a bleak, hostile place where the living were far outnumbered by the dead. Among the scattered survivors, a group of 10, led by a former soldier named Jack, stumbled upon an abandoned military outpost deep in the wilderness. Exhausted and desperate for a safe haven, they decided to take refuge there. The outpost, surrounded by tall, rusted fences and topped with barbed wire, offered a glimmer of hope. The main gate creaked open with an eerie reluctance, revealing a courtyard cluttered with debris and overgrown vegetation. Despite the haunting silence, it seemed secure, a fortress against the relentless zombie hordes outside. The group quickly set up camp in the main building, an imposing structure with thick concrete walls and small barred windows. Jack and his second-in-command, Maria, organized patrols and established a watch rotation, ensuring that the outpost remained secure from external threats. For the first few days, the outpost provided a semblance of normalcy. The group found a stockpile of rations and ammunition in the armory, which lifted their spirits. However, an underlying unease began to creep into their minds. Strange noises echoed through the halls at night, distant footsteps, whispers, and the occasional clatter of metal. One night, while on patrol, Jack and Maria discovered a hidden door in the basement, concealed behind a stack of crates. It was heavily reinforced and bore a warning sign: "Authorized personnel only." Curious and driven by a sense of duty, Jack decided to investigate, believing it might hold valuable supplies or information. As the group gathered around, Jack forced the door open with a crowbar. A cold draft blew out from the dark corridor beyond, carrying with it the stench of decay. They cautiously entered, their flashlights cutting through the thick darkness. The corridor led to a series of underground rooms that appeared to be part of a secret research facility. The walls were lined with ominous equipment, vials of unknown substances, and medical charts filled with cryptic notes. The air was heavy with the scent of antiseptic and something far more sinister. In one of the rooms, they discovered a series of holding cells. The doors were open, and inside were the remains of human subjects, grotesquely disfigured and long dead. It became clear that this was no ordinary research facility. It was a place of unspeakable experiments. As they delved deeper, the group found a lab filled with medical equipment and research journals. Maria, who had some medical training, deciphered the notes. They spoke of a project aimed at creating super soldiers immune to the zombie virus. However, the experiments had gone horribly wrong, resulting in monstrous hybrids, part zombie, part human, with an insatiable hunger for flesh and a disturbing level of intelligence. Realizing the gravity of their discovery, Jack ordered the group to retreat. But as they turned to leave, a blood-curdling scream echoed through the corridors. One of their own, Mark, who had been guarding the entrance, was nowhere to be found. Panic set in as they raced back to the main building, only to find Mark's mutilated body in the courtyard, his lifeless eyes staring up at the sky. The fortress they thought was their salvation had become a death trap. The hybrids were still there, lurking in the shadows, hunting them. Barricading themselves in the command center, the group faced the grim reality of their situation. The outpost, once a place of hope, was now a battleground against a new, far more terrifying enemy. The hybrids were stronger, faster, and smarter than the regular zombies, and they had the advantage of knowing the layout of the outpost intimately. As night fell, the hybrids began their assault. They moved with eerie silence, using the darkness to their advantage. The survivors fought valiantly, but their numbers dwindled as one by one they fell to the relentless attacks. Jack, Maria, and a few others managed to make a last stand in the armory, using the remaining ammunition to fend off the hybrids. In a desperate bid for survival, Jack devised a plan to lure the hybrids into the underground facility and trap them there. Maria, Jack, and the remaining survivors set up a series of makeshift explosives in the corridors. With the hybrids closing in, they led them through the labyrinthine passages, narrowly avoiding death at every turn. As the hybrids entered the final corridor, Jack triggered the explosives, causing a massive cave-in that buried the abominations under tons of rubble. Exhausted and grief-stricken, the survivors emerged from the depths of the outpost into the cold light of dawn. The price of their survival had been high, but they had defeated the sinister threat lurking within the base. With heavy hearts, they gathered their supplies and left the outpost behind, seeking a new refuge in a world where safety was an illusion and hope was a fragile, fleeting thing. The memory of the horrors they had faced would haunt them forever, a grim reminder that sometimes the living could be more monstrous than the dead.